Yeah, that's me. Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. And let's make sure everything is set up correctly and get going. Got the notebook. Marcus will probably be joining us later as soon as he sees his email. And let's go in here to content. Go to live. We'll go to settings. Yes, exactly. And then we will make sure this thing is set up correctly. It's not scrolling for some reason. Oh, let's get that reverse scroll crap going on. All right, thank you, Apple, because everybody asked for your help. Not altered content. We're not tagging a brand. Which is a live stream. Oh, what was my notes? I'm going to save. And do save. And then we've got, check this out, chat customization. Don't eat the video cable, baby. Give you a nasty shock. Worse than the microphone. All right, so the chat is actually set up correctly. So let's go into the control center and check out the feed. And connect to go live. Mama. Okay, so there it is. Now let's introduce a little bit of audio echo and test out to make sure that's working. As she pushes my mousing hand with her foot. Check, check, 1, 2. All right, that's good. And now, you see yourself, baby? You happy? You see yourself? That's the monitor. All right, so now let's get Bluetooth connected, and then we'll go over to X and start the spaces. We'll do it from the Apple device today. See if it's any better behaved. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bluetooth. It never did find my. That's not helpful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Apple Pencil is a Bluetooth device. I figured, but they never previously exposed it as such. The microphone is a little close to me because the Apple keyboard is blocking the microphone arm. I can arrange that again. What if I turn off Bluetooth and turn it back on? Off. On. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I have to make it discoverable on the device. Let's do that. Because on all the Samsung stuff, they just share amongst themselves. And, yeah. Uh-oh. There's an update to both the app and the device. And I can't use the software without it. So we're going to lose audio for a minute. Not just yet. It's downloading. Then continue. Agree. Gigabyte. Install. Fingerprint. Yeah. All right, successful. What? That wasn't even the one I was looking for. That was the one for the light controller. I had to do them by hand because they were goofing off. All right, so select one to get started. Device configuration. Not available over RJ45, wired Ethernet, and USB-C 2.0. Why not? Oh, no, it is. Well, you've got all of those. You're multi-connected. I've also got Wi-Fi turned on. Frame rates, don't touch them. Switching, we're not there yet. Recording, we're not there yet either. Audio, looks good. Network. Oh, the network cable is unplugged. Why? We'll deal with that later. Wi-Fi? Please join the network. How have you lost all your network connections? Well, you may join the Wi-Fi. And if you don't have the Wi-Fi, how do you know that there's a software update? Or did you find out and then drop? It says it's connecting. It's blinked over on the other side. That must mean something. Yep, and there's a disconnect button there. Ethernet cable says it's not connected yet. That's might be true. It might not. System. Bluetooth. There we go. Now discoverable. There it is. Oh my goodness. So it was the Samsung making it go before. Yep, that matches. Okay. So now. Oh yeah. So now the iPad has the audio. So let's start up X without toppling the iPad. X. Not Xbox. X. Yeah, I am live, aren't I? Not now. Agreed, Brandon. Whoa, baby, whoa. Must be careful. You almost choked yourself and threw the work laptop off the desk. Neither is a good outcome. Let's untangle this. Get off of that. Let it go. Yes, let go. Yeah, thank you. Okay, now I see you guys in chat. Give me a minute. I've only got the one hand. Okay, so now we're going to start a space. Yes, I do. But they see you complaining. So we're going to do new, not a new post. I don't want a new post. Cancel. Home. X. I don't know how to start space on iPad. Can you? You might not be able to start space on iPad still? If so, then I gotta break out the Samsung again. Cancel. Let's see. All right, so I want. You might not be able to do it on iPad yet. Video, communities. Don't step on the keyboard. I guess you still can't do it on iPad. That's stupid. And now we know why I was using Samsung in the first place. Oh, but I need to disconnect the Bluetooth. I see you. Hey. You're the one who wanted to come in here. Why are you tangling yourself in the cord, baby? Is that better? Yeah? Okay, so how do I disconnect from this thing? I see it connected. Turn it off. Yeah, that'll disconnect it. But I want the thing to work. Okay, the pencil's connected. But nothing else. Let's go. 999, yes. Put this back here. We were doing so well. We were going to start on time. Well, we started broadcasting on time, but we were going to actually have the show going on time. We've got a notebook ready. We've got everything going. And then somebody wanted to go to work with Daddy. and then changed her mind after her mommy left. Yeah. Okay. Open this one up. Hopefully it's still got some battery. Yeah, it's at 76%. That's not bad. It's in airplane mode, but Wi-Fi. So does that mean anything? I don't think it means anything. So we're going to go to Bluetooth. Oh, there's just your mommy. You got lucky. Yeah. Have a good day. All right, so now we can plug this in. Whoa, I hope it doesn't fall. Go back to Bluetooth again. Connect to the audio interface. And I can move the microphone where it belongs because the Samsung doesn't have a keyboard anymore. And open up X. And then we'll do plus. And we'll do a space. Ford sales drop off a cliff, according to Clean Technica. All right, so I started the space, it says, but I don't see where it asks me anything about the space. There you go. Let's chat. This is April 5th. I think it's the 5th. Yeah, still the 5th. Okay. And we're going to record, but not allow anonymous. Start a space. Don't need to invite anybody. And we'll unmute. Check. Okay, it's working. So now, I guess we'll do that software update later. I see Bluetooth on the screen, which is interesting. Home. Yep, it's still, telling me there's an update. There's an update for the computer too. It was going to take like 30 minutes, so I said, nah. I don't know what they've done to that device, but it's somewhat stable now. Okay, let's take a look at the chat. Now that I've got two hands and we're somewhat set up. Brian says, I know I'm 4 days early, but I left a thumbs up anyhow. Excellent. Good to see. Lee says, hi, Kacey and Mako. I'll let her know that you said hello. Audio streams are great on YouTube. Good to hear. And send me a link I can join for a bit. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Coming right up. Actually, Mark, it's the same as always. Just jump in. Let's see. I'm on the Mac. I can text you. But not through Facebook. Okay, I'm going to email Mark the note page so he can see what I've snatched up, and then we'll be good to go. I'm going to share, copy the page via email to Mr. Coughlin. That's the one. 5 April. And link, just in case I don't have to look it up, is going to be give them the same link we always use. And paste that in there. Okay, we are good to go. Lee is saying the video is a little laggy, dropping frames, but the audio is perfect. I think that's a matter of the software we're using interfacing with this high quality video audio interface device, because when I had it streamed directly, it didn't do this 90s webcam stutter effect, but with high resolution and decent color accuracy. So I don't know why it is, because I'm using Thunderbolt 5, so the USB anything up to 4 should be plenty fine. And I think it's only a USB 3 device. Mark says he's in the room. USB anything up to 4.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Yes, happy Easter to all that observe, and anyone who doesn't, happy Easter anyway. Just for different reasons, obviously. All right. I started the morning with an analysis of a certain prominent figure's Easter visage, and it was not what one would expect, except for it is what one would expect from that individual, but we're not going to get too into that. If you know, you know, and if you don't, it's better you don't. Yep, there's Lee. Mark's coming in great as well. Perfect. All right, so I actually had the notebook not just ready, but also available. So I emailed you a PDF of it, if you can see it. I don't know if we're going to go in order or not, but let me pull up a fresh tab, move us over so that I can see us behind the content that I'm putting in front of my eyes. Sharing in front of the screen. So let's do, I think that window could work, but let's do one that's not too tall. There we go. Yeah, this will be a perfect window right there. And .5. Oh, I know what .5 is. That's the picture server. So we're going to copy this first link. I don't know that we need to do them in order, just so we cover them all. Paste and go. This is the one at the top. And I'm going to share screen. I'm going to push the tablet so it doesn't turn the screen off on our X folks. So I just learned again today that the iPad can't do spaces. Which is a little weird given how the Musk Companies are very iDevice first, but apparently it only goes for iPhones.
That is weird. I thought the architecture would be easy enough just to push it to anything Apple-ish.
Yeah. Especially as much as they like, oh yeah, we'll get around to Android later. Then they do, but oof. Okay, so it looks like the screen is looking okay. So this one, I wasn't necessarily going to go into the article itself, just the concept I liked. Home solar plus battery plus EV, one GMC Sierra EV driver shares their experience. And having all these things together is, I think, a good thing. You got solar to help either take you off grid or make you more flexible or more independent from the grid, or just lower your costs. The battery to help you bridge any sort of gaps. Yep. And the cool thing with that GMC Sierra, the Cybertruck, any of these large battery EVs, you can have a smaller home battery. You only basically need to keep the fridge running, keep the internet on when you're not home. Maybe keep the HVAC at something reasonable. And then you can use your truck for the rest of it, which saves you in battery costs because you're going to have the one anyway. So he says, you've finally got the trifecta: rooftop solar panel, feeding a home backup battery that charges your EV. Heck, you've even got a bidirectional EV that can send power back to the house when you need it. Now, the real question, are you actually saving any money? And so that's another question right there, is I always frame it that I don't actually look at ROI when I do this. So for somebody like me, it's achieving other goals to make sure that that we're not out in an outage, and it gives us the ability to arbitrage and do what we want. Now, if you're in an area that almost never has the power go out, they already are powered from green power, and they don't give you flexible rates, then yeah, it could take a while to, if you're looking at the numbers just pure dollars and cents and what equals what, then it could take a while to see that happen. But if you have outages, or if you have a time of use plan, or if you have a solar feed-in tariff, then that number drops substantially. Plus, you're not having to go somewhere and wait on a pump to fill up a car. Or if you're going to do the EV anyway, then again, that that goes into what your priorities are. How do you look at it, Mark? Do you look at payback, or do you just look at it does?
I think in my neck of the woods would be I'd have to look at payback because
Mhm.
I've got a pretty stable grid where I live.
Yeah,
In fact, I don't experience outages at all.
nice.
But when it comes to payback, what people don't sometimes consider is that the price of electricity does go up over the years.
Yes,
Yes, you may require 7 years to pay back for your system, but also for those 7 years, there are going to be incremental price increases almost every year along that 7 year route.
yeah,
So you're locking in your price 7 years early and saying, this is my maximum price. And the system will pay me back over that period of time. And then after that 7 years goes by, then it's all profit because
exactly.
the remaining 13 or 18 years that the panels are rated for, you're going to be pulling in free electricity for that amount of time. So that's
Definitely.
it is a long-term thing. Yes, it is upfront cost and work to get it done.
Yeah.
Even if you're hiring somebody, you need to do your homework and talk to
Yes.
multiple solar providers. But
Try to avoid the people who knock on your door. I mean, they might be good, but you definitely don't want to start with them.
well, if someone does come and knock at your door and wants to do a quote, let them do it.
Oh yeah, take a quote. Yeah,
Yeah, why not? But then go out and get two competing bids of people that haven't knocked on your door,
exactly.
and then get that information
And
into
reviews.
the buffer to compare.
Yeah, and definitely reviews. The other good thing, like you pointed out, is that the rate doesn't isn't static. So say your rate has been pretty stable for a couple of years. Well, now we've got all these AI data centers coming up, and all these other changes happening to the grid. You've got climate change, as we saw in parts of California. They're realizing that the water supply they built for is not as stable as they thought it was, and it's changing now. And so you may be stable up to 3 years, and then on year 4 they give a 10% rate hike or whatever the maximum legal is they can get through the city council or wherever whoever approves the rates. Now, even if you weren't at 100% capability, if you were at 75% capability, well, your neighbors just had a 14% raise, and you had 75% of a 14% raise. So it's not bad, or 25% less of it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do math in my head, but that's how it goes. Yeah. And Lee points out that Tesla reopened home solar and Powerwall installs in Georgia, and it wasn't available since the beginning of the year. Yeah, that's the weirdest thing for me, with the way that they are constantly up and down with that arm of the business. I'm glad they haven't quit it, but man, following along with them is hard. So what I would do, seeing even with solar, even with Tesla solar, I would get 2 quotes, and you might be surprised a local installer might be able to get you the same or better deal than Tesla proper. And then you've got somebody whose office you can go down and stand in front of if anything goes wrong.
Yeah, Lee brings up another point about the possibility of the home sale makes it better for a resale value on your home if you do set it up with solar, so it's energy independent. That
Yes.
can be a selling point for people looking to buy a home.
Yeah, because like, hey, not only does this house have like a $2 a month or probably like more like, let's call it $10 a month, $13 a month electric bill, depending on where you live, just to be connected to the grid. It doesn't change beyond that because you're 100%, and you don't need a generator because it's already properly sized. Or even better, like if you're somebody who's into this, you'll probably get a bigger size than what the buyer would need. So they could go many days without having to worry about how do I supplement this power, which is still a very good selling point. And then Eddie brings up a good point about leasing solar. You really need to do your numbers on a lease if you even consider it. For most people, it does not make sense if you own the building. If the landlord wants to lease it and do that and put it in with your rent or whatever, then that could work out. But again, check your numbers.
And
don't know
that's
about
another
that.
thing to consider, as Eddie says here, is that if leasing is something that doesn't make sense, do a little search in Google and look for community solar, as our friend
Yes.
Patrick tells us about. Is that if you don't have space to put panels on your roof, or if you have a shady backyard that wouldn't collect much sunlight, you may want to see if in your area if community solar exists, because that can knock down your bill dramatically, and you're still collecting energy from the sun that gets on the grid that you get to use. So
Exactly.
it's a big plus.
And you don't have any maintenance. Say a
Yeah.
hailstorm takes out all your panels. That's somebody else's problem. Not that that's a huge thing to worry about, and you've got insurance if literally a hailstorm takes out all of your panels. But it is something to consider depending on how extreme the weather is where you are. Especially if you don't have space, like if you need to do something weird, like maybe put something up in the backyard in a way that's not as comfortable as it would be for like a proper ground mount or a proper roof mount, then at that point, yeah, community solar can be a fine example of what you can do. Or if you've got enough space for 10 panels, but you need 20, you can get the rest of them from community solar.
Yeah.
All right, so that is basically why I pulled that one up. I didn't really want to read his whole part of it. I wanted to just talk about the concept. And then this one is something that we're going to talk about probably this week on the Tesla Life show, but I'm going to copy this link. Not want to insert a link, I want to copy a link and paste it over here. The not quite good enough for me to replace the Model X. Model Y L has expanded its range yet again. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the Model X, I think, is a little small for us as well. So to go smaller doesn't make sense. I see it now. Like in this angle, you can really see it's a little bit longer than a traditional Juniper Model Y. Not just in the specs. But where have they seen it, Mark? They've got in Korea.
Yeah, some more Asian countries it's been opened up to. So we've got, I believe, Australia already,
Mm-hmm.
and New Zealand, and now Thailand, Hong Kong, other Asian countries have opened up. So again, one thing all in common here is they're all fed from
Giga Shanghai.
Giga Shanghai. So it makes sense that they're already up to speed with the L, and they have the capability and the extra capacity to roll it out to many other countries. So I see that continuing. Anyone that's getting their cars currently from Shanghai, there's a good possibility it's coming to your country soon.
Yeah, and then I guess that would just continue as they gain more experience with it and capacity to push that out.
Yeah.
I wonder if it just becomes the Model Y, or if you'll have Model Y standard and then the Model Y Premium, and then it jumps all the way up to this for the all-wheel drive. Or I'm curious.
Yeah, good question. It depends on sales. If Model Y L takes over the category, there might be a possibility that you get rid of the smaller Model Y. If it's an even split, I'll probably keep both lines going. But it depends on the uptake of each of the segments.
Yeah. I guess the next thing to watch for is if Giga Berlin gets a copy, and how they roll that out.
And we have seen Model Y Ls at a Giga Berlin. If they were going to be ripped apart or used as templates or something, I'm not really sure. But they have been there, and there has been some mysterious boxes with Model Ys caught in Fremont. I'm sorry, not Fremont, Texas.
Austin, yeah.
Yeah, so we know it's coming everywhere. It's just a matter of how quick they can do it.
Right, and then a matter also if Elon's whole prediction of not before the end of this year and maybe not ever to the States. I'm still hoping that that's a case of his better than a minivan cyber something coming out for the States is indicative, and not because he thinks that robotaxi is going to take over so fast or whatever. Because his relationship with time is not healthy. Not for the rest of us.
He doesn't live in the same time parameters that the rest of us do.
Yeah. He's like, what is it? Inception,
Yeah,
in the dream world.
he can just pop in and out, see what's going on, and everything's 2 weeks.
Yeah. Not saying that nothing ever comes true, just that very little happens when he says it should happen. So the rest of us would appreciate this or something even bigger for this market. Let's see. After that, we've got an untitled tweet. I don't know what I've got going on here. Let's take a look. It may not even still apply. Paste and go. Don't miss out on what's happening. I've been logged out of X. That's not helpful. Why can't V to L in the form of 110 volt outlets be standardized? So many new EVs still only offer a 12 volt cigarette lighter port. John EE says, why can't this V to L power outlet be inside the cabin like every other EV? I think this is probably the next place we might see standardization. But as well as this, you see what he plugs into it is a USB charger. So I do like the Cybertruck and Model Y, the USB-C high power outlets in the front. So that is also something I will tack on to what these guys are already saying. And as we can tell by the dual charge ports on a Tesla, this is a Chinese Model Y, I'm assuming, because the X didn't have power export, and that's clearly not a Cybertruck. And it looks a little tall to be a Model 3. So we've got the was it GBT? We've got the DC port off to the right, and we've got the AC port to the left.
Yeah, it's something that standardization is creeping up, and especially in the Chinese market where everything's hyper competitive. I think that standardization of V, what do they call it, V to G?
V to G, V to L? V to X?
V to L, V to load. I think that will come in the Chinese market first on all brands, and then it'll be rolled out because, of course, parts get cheaper when you buy in volume. And if they're buying from the same suppliers, pushing it out to North America and Europe would just make sense.
Yeah. What I'm doing now is logging in another window. Pardon me.
So it's just something that it's kind of frustrating in some cases if you're buying a new vehicle and you see that maybe part of that maybe the performance version has the option and yours doesn't. But I see that it is coming. It will come to all of them. It's just a matter of, is that something that you would wait for if you're looking to get a new vehicle? Is it something you would hold out for if it took an extra half year or a year? I know in my case, I'd be willing to forego that to get the vehicle sooner.
Yeah, as long as I don't absolutely need a vehicle right now, then I would probably be inclined to wait for the next car to have it. And by that I mean I've already got something that drives electric, so and is in good repair and is not questionable. Like if I had a battery that was flaking out on me and I was out of warranty, then I would be doing more of the mental toss-ups, comparisons between each other to see what's going on. So here, we're actually going to touch on this topic later in the show, but Brandon has put this in front of me by virtue of me logging in. He says, so glad I pay 6 cents per kilowatt hour off peak at home and $0 kilowatt an hour charging at work. Bruh, $7.69 a gallon sounds bad until you realize that PG&E has been charging us these prices for years. Time of use, ETOU-D plan. Peak pricing from 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays. Summer season, June 1st to September 30th, is 57 cents per kilowatt hour, or 44 cents during the day. And the winter season is 44 cents per kilowatt hour during the day, and from 5 to 8 p.m. is 48 cents per kilowatt hour. I guess they have more people on gas heat, or they don't get as cold as the rest of the continent there. Yeah, I agree with Brandon. I'm glad I have a sensible rate, but that's another good reason, again, to be able to arbitrage yourself and be able to have home solar, or if you're blessed enough to have water flowing through your property that also doesn't flood, and the ability to put a water wheel down, then yeah, you can do something like that. Or if you're in the nice windy plains and don't have enough neighbors, you can pop up a wind generator, wind turbine, a small one. There's many ways to do solar harvesting. It doesn't have to be direct sunlight. And again, humidity solar, they do offer that in California. I know that for a fact. All these things can knock this down for you, but this part right here, the bright yellow part, you're going to want a battery for if you're partially grid connected.
Oh yeah, and there's a big difference between California rates and the rest of the country's rates. That's something for consideration for ROI is what am I paying now? What are my rates now? What has been the steady uptick in cost per kilowatt over the past number of years? So you have to weigh the options. Yes, solar is an expensive thing to outlay, not as expensive as it used to be, but certainly it's an expense that has to be, you have to outlay out front or get a loan for or something along that line. But all these points come into consideration. If you're paying 8 cents a kilowatt hour as opposed to 44 or 57 on peak, the calculation is much different. And you can choose not to get involved in the solar game if you're only paying 8 cents because payback's going to be longer. But again, as Lee points out, in his case, he's looking for redundancy. He's looking for eliminating power outs, or there are other things that are involved. It depends on your situation, and there's many different pieces that you have to look at in order to see, does the ROI work for me?
Exactly. And like Mark might not want to do a solar, but he might want to do a home battery, just enough to coast over some sort of, I don't know, snow related disaster or something, and then maybe he can hook up some portable panels to whatever he's got. Hey, Anders is there as a member still. Good to see. It's only 50 months. 50 months. 50 months of membership. Good evening. Good to see you, Anders. Thank you. Wow, time flies. So this one here, what have I got? Oh, I haven't pasted it yet. I'm sure Mark looked at that price like, whoa, even the cheap price.
Yep.
All right, so this one is just a little fun because there's a ride for everyone, and not everyone agrees in what they want, what they need, and what is fun. So Mercedes-AMG doesn't want its new EV to feel like an EV. We've talked about how like the Kia GT6 has fun noises for people, or was that the Hyundai? Actually, it was probably both of them, the Hyundai version of it as well. And more power to them. If vroom noises are what it takes to get an EV on the street, fine, bring it along. And so here we've got a tri-motor large sedan, like the outgoing Model X, Model S, Plaid, RIP. 3-motor GT4 coupe pairs fake combustion drama with serious drifting ability. So it's got what we would consider in Tesla land track mode, and you can adjust the balance, and you can kick out the rear and have yourself a blast. So somebody's got to do it. I mean,
hey, if you've got people, if you can get people into the EV game with this, that's great, because I think that over time they'll start to realize that EV is the place for them, and they will talk that to their relatives and friends, and it just propels what we're after, which is electrify everything. So
these wild things, baby.
Yeah, if you want to do that, go right ahead. If you've never owned an EV and you're looking to get your first, my suggestion would be test many. Go out and do test drives and understand features, just similar to the solar. Understand what's around you, what you like, what you want, what you don't want, and do that through trial and error with free test drives, with dealerships, with showrooms, whatever.
Yeah, right now Riva and OEVA are doing what yearly event?
That's right. The National Drive Electric Month is coming up, and on their website you can see a number of different EV associations across the U.S. and Canada that are setting up events that will be happening in the month of May and in the month of October. So keep an eye on that. They post different events coming up where you can visit just locally, see what's happening, talk to real EV owners, understand what's out there, get your questions answered.
Yeah, and I don't know if worldwide it's all done at the same time or not, but Andrew's close enough he could take a Norway vacation if he didn't already own one. Or the rest of you folks in Europe, do let us know in the chat there what we need to look out for the awareness events like Drive Electric Month, where you can go experience it firsthand with or without any sales pressure from like dealerships. Like dealerships may provide the car, but they usually aren't at these events, which is nice.
Yeah.
Some folks prefer the laid back approach. What have I got here? Is this the? Oh no, this is a different one. All right, so this one depends on how you want to look at the figures. Rivian EV sales are up year over year despite a tough EV market. If you're more of a Ford fan, then you might say that they made room for Rivian. Not into the whole sports team jersey thing here. More Rivians is good, and Ford has re-evaluated how they're going to proceed, and it sounds like everything they're doing is part of their Skunkworks program, even though they claim it's not. So if what they're doing is not the Skunkworks program, I'm really curious what those folks have been up to the last 10 years and would love to see what they produce, because if that's what they can do without them, then what they can do with them has got to be spectacular. But what I think happened is even though Jim's not supposed to have an access card, maybe somebody let him in. He walked through, was like, put that, put him out now. Let's go. or the copy Tesla's homework, one or the other.
Yeah, just again, more to the party. Rivian certainly needs sales to keep healthy. And again, the skyrocketing price of gasoline is probably helping them too.
Absolutely. And of course, as we saw with Tesla and LG batteries of Michigan, others readjusting their plans does mean that if you are shrewd and have some level of capability, you can snatch up that stuff at a discount. That stuff being the capacity. So we have folks out of Europe. They have better access to Tesla Multipass than we have here in the States. So William says that Tesla Multipass is great. Authenticated third-party chargers. All their seats are in the Tesla app. No need for additional charging apps. The card is most likely already in your wallet. Basically, using your key card for your car as a charging card on these networks. You always pay drop-in prices is a bad thing, and it doesn't work with CPOs yet. I'm not quite. All CPOs, all charging providing operations, something like that. Thanks, Tesla Charging. This number has increased month over month. So if they don't work this month, they might work next month. This part, I'd like to see them recognize that, hey, kind of like when you buy stuff with your Apple authenticated but anonymous email, there's a method to link them up that you get your discount. I'd like to see that. So he's out of Norway, so that's cool to see. And as long as ad hoc B2B roaming prices are as broken as they are, I see little future in this product. Crazy. I think it's nice for backup, though. So it depends on your priorities. Like, for instance, if this is a company car, I know that it's more of a thing in Europe. If you can make it all appear in one place, it's a lot easier to get your reimbursement. If it's already on, their car and their app, you probably don't even have to do anything special to get that reimbursement. So I'm not saying it's useless, but obviously if you're going to be pinching the pennies on it and not using superchargers, then you might be willing to juggle apps and cards to make it happen. If this is something you do once in a while, it might not be, or it may take you catch you off guard. You're like, oh, I need to do this thing, and there's no supercharger here, but there's a fastned right here. Let me just swipe in with my key card, and boom, done. Somebody else in the thread points out that plug-in charge would be great. Others point out that almost all the time they've tried it, the supercharger was cheapest, so they just went to the supercharger. And then one person complains that the third parties weren't in the map. Well, they are in the map, but they weren't in the planner. That's not entirely accurate. The third-party superchargers are in the planner by default. I don't know if it warns you before it picks them though, but it's all in how you prefer to travel. They just give you more options rather than saying you must do us, you must do it. And so I think they're doing a good thing here, and since it is helping the competition, I don't know how much we can demand of them. Here, we need you to help your competition out with the charging. But I'm glad to
Yeah, certainly. And I'm not aware of what the charging structure in Europe is. And I assume it's better than North America when it comes to non-Tesla superchargers. But I know if I was traveling, I would certainly want some reliability when it comes to the chargers they're suggesting on my route, as opposed to seeing something that's a little cheaper. I'd much rather have reliability and volume as opposed to looking for a cheaper charge rate.
Yeah, and I do like the way that they do it right now is third parties do show up, and if they become unreliable, they your car, the one that failed last, deletes it from the map. Poof, nobody can see it, and then they got to earn it back. And then as they earn it, your car says, "Hey, you know, I'm the 9,000th person who has success here. Let's put them back on the map."
Yeah.
And thankfully, it's not quite so hard, but they have standards, and I do like to see that. Because when you're on a road trip, you're not familiar with the area. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've got apps, but it's nice.
But you'd rather not be guessing or hoping that the structure is in place.
Yes.
The reliability, that is.
Exactly. Or say normally it's good, but all of a sudden there's like a power outage because like a transformer went down. Enough people go there, the car will take care of it. Probably about car number 5, like poof, it's gone for a while. All right, so this one was a I don't know if this is related to that same one we were looking at with the AMG, but the new EQS has adopted steer-by-wire technology as standard. As an option, in its refreshed EQS. Traditional mechanical linkage between the steering wheel and front wheels has been replaced with electronic sensors and actuators. This allows for quicker steering ratio, 170 degrees lock to lock, four-wheel steering up to 10 degrees in the rear, smaller yoke steering wheel, much tighter turning radius, and Cybertruck proves steer-by-wire is the future. Many more companies will start to integrate it, and this is real steer-by-wire without the mechanical backup that we saw in the Infinity. This is just like Cybertruck, except it doesn't say if it's 48 volt or 12 volt. I'm gonna guess it's 12 volt because that'll be something else for them to point out there. I'm gonna paste a link to this in the chat. There was sound effects and videos, or so not videos, sound effects and music. So I don't know if unmuting it would cause us visibility issues. All right. And
oh, Spider-Man. Spider-Man from the 70s.
Yes. Hey, they've said they like this in the past, as long as you don't sue them for their own stuff. So yeah, copy it up. If the customers like it, or if it's good for your customers, snatch it. Do it. If steer-by-wire is more or less more reliable than the steering technology, I would say it's possible that it could be more reliable because there's less to lubricate and there's not a metal shaft staring right at your customer to uppercut them or impale them. All right, so let's go to this one here and paste and go. I'm excited for steer-by-wire and to see that somebody else has done a yoke, because the yoke makes sense with steer-by-wire. It's not the round wheel can still work, but the yoke and the way that they introduced it with Tesla was weird. So on that same thing with Rivian and sales, remember that Q1 has just wrapped, so we don't have all the details yet. And this is the way I always say you need to evaluate Tesla as the whole quarter, because their delivery mechanism doesn't match anyone else's. And so if you say, oh, January was down massively, and then all of a sudden the last week of March, they deliver the entire allocation of cars worldwide. So this now, once they give us the numbers, will be a more fair way to say it. Other people in this thread point out that Q1 is soft for everybody. So Tesla sales in Q1 compared to the same period last year These are the countries for which I already have March data. I will update the chart as more data is coming in. So far, the total is to the good 35.3 thousand new sales on top of last year. So South Korea, 841% increase. France, 294. Norway, 363. That is impressive because Norway was already
Norway's the leader and has been for, it seems, a decade plus.
I wonder what happened to just launch them even further, because they were Norway's actually now winding down their incentives because they've reached the goal they wanted of. They wanted 100%. They were like, what, 96, 98% new cars sold were electric.
Yeah.
Incredible. Taiwan is up 310%. Hong Kong, 219. Spain, 282. Israel, 10,500% increase.
Okay, that means last quarter they had 3 cars in the country or something.
Well, the quarter the year before, yeah. But yeah. So as Mark pointed out, you do be realistic about it. The percent increase is more than the number of cars. So they had a really rough Q1 25.
Yeah,
obviously. Italy, 254%. Sweden, 180. And this one, I have a feeling has to do with the little break and shift they had with the IF Metal Group, just causing trouble over there. They didn't finish, and they're not done, but they got a little more reasonable for a little bit. And, well,
it ain't over.
It is not over. It is not over. Belgium, 80%. Portugal, 191. Romania, 201. Iceland, 320%. Again, like Israel, 320% is more than the number of cars.
Yeah.
At 63. Malaysia at 44%, at 31 cars. It's good to see. I think they're supplied by Giga Shanghai, right? Because they had. So we were curious when Malaysia was announced and they got the Model Y. They only had one color to choose from, but at this point, I think I can see why they didn't have color choice at first, because if you're going to precede the nation, you don't know what colors they want. You're all getting black, and that's what they got. Hungary up 207%. Switzerland up 71% to 254. Netherlands at 40% at 780, and Turkey down 35% to 1265. I wonder what happened there. Made somebody mad, or didn't get the boats.
Yeah, can't get the ship in there.
Yeah, that's true. As if they were planning to do the last week of the month, and then the canal was gone. That'll do you.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll do you. Especially if you had to shuffle them to trains the last minute. Oh. So Tesla sales difference by country for Q1. So there are some that went down, like the U.S. and definitely Canada. They've probably gone down. I don't know for sure that the Canada numbers are down, but the Canada from Fremont and Austin is definitely down because of reasons. And let's make this bigger. It's hard to see here. So Turkey is down, Netherlands is down, Switzerland is down, Hungary. It's down, but can you see it there? Malaysia looks flat.
Pretty close to break even. Yeah.
Yeah. Iceland is a little bit up, but these are in units rather than percent. So South Korea, look at them, gangbusters. Wow. South Korea, then France, and then France is amazing because
France is a different. Obviously, something has affected them with the sale of EVs.
Yeah.
Probably gas prices, but
gas prices and incentives.
It is a definite jump from what they were ordering previously.
Yeah, what was it? Just 9 months ago, they were burning them up over there, right?
Yeah.
And as I said at the time, with France, you don't know what's wrong, why stuff is on fire, because that is their preferred method of protest over there, is just light it up. I don't know why.
They should think of something else.
Right. I want to give a shout out to Star Soup over in the X Spaces. I've probably been there a minute, but my screen turned off. I'm sorry.
I'm coming to a close. I've got
Okay.
some Easter festivities that are
Certainly.
going to be happening here local. I wanted to join for a little bit, say hello to
Appreciate it.
everyone, wish everyone a happy Easter, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. See you soon, Mark. Happy
All
Easter.
right.
We'll see you Monday on Test Life Express, and then
Yep.
Wednesday live at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Very good. Thanks,
All right.
Kacey. Have a
Thank you,
good
Mark.
afternoon.
You too.
Bye-bye,
Happy Easter.
everyone.
All right, so this one, I just saw the headline and the picture, and I wanted to get into it. The Port of LA turns to electric terminal trucks to slash dwell times. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to drag it into the taskbar, and push enter, and we're going to look at it together. And I'm going to adjust this view here. Oh, Star has requested. Let's allow and approve. There we go. Good afternoon, Star. Good to see you.
Oh, hey, Kacey. Glad to catch your show. And yeah, I'm not sure if we're at this move from the firebomb, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, for some stuff, it makes sense that's their preferred method of celebration. But for others, like, hey, we're mad at the train rates. Let's set the trains on fire. Oh, well, hold on now. Now the trains are going to be more expensive. or back in the day, hey, you're stopping on our country. We're going to blow yours up. Okay. That seems more effective.
I did have some questions about Tesla news, if you're done with the news update.
Almost done. What you got?
I'm curious with Tesla and all the gigafactories and what they're doing with data centers, what they're doing with chip manufacturing. Where are we at? Has Elon or Tesla given any indication as to where they are for rolling out not just batteries, but microchips and silicon products, considering that the Southeast United States has the purest 11.9 silicon in the world? We should be making chips here locally.
That would be cool. So they've announced the Tesla Terafactory is underway, and they haven't actually started the factory itself, but they have started the pilot factory. That's going to be over near Giga, Texas, where they're going to make terawatts of chips per year, and that's going to be exciting because as a company that's been working with inference for since 2014. They have an idea of what the computers need to be able to do for what they want it to do, both for the driving aids as well as compute with Grok and other real world processing with the bot. So I think that they stand a chance of making it pretty successful. Yeah.
So besides the AI 4, 5, or 6 chips that they were talking about,
it sounds like your microphone switched.
Am I quiet?
Very.
All right, sorry about that. Let me switch back to Bluetooth.
So I'm not the only one with Bluetooth issues today. All right, while he reconnects that, Anders points out that it's hard to stop sales all the time. The fact that they sold more in certain areas is probably due to the fact that many people had their old Teslas and it was time to buy new ones. That's a very good point, because mine's approaching 8 years old, and thankfully it's still running strong. Mark Lee said Happy Easter, and Lee said they also updated the UI for more languages. That also helped push adoption in those countries. Yeah, if you don't have to, run a second language in your head, that makes all the difference if you don't have to run a second language in your head to drive your car down the road. So I have a feeling that certainly could make a significant dent in each of the local markets' adoption of the cars. Yeah. All right, so Star's back in the room, but the computer's being.
I'm sorry about
There you
that.
are. Okay, welcome back.
So yeah, I was noticing, and I've heard that computer prices for things like memory,
Yes.
storage, SD, have gone up. And I actually looked at the prices for the first time last night, and I'm astounded from, like a 1 terabyte SD card that only cost $89 2 years ago now costs $270.
Oof.
And yeah, it's ridiculous. So
And that's
I'm
like
just kind of
camera
curious
SD
what
card?
we're looking at. Yeah, like camera,
Ooh.
mobile device.
Yeah, they've affected everything, man. Because like a hard drive I bought for $100 a year and a half ago, it was selling for $500 used. Last time I looked at it last month, I was like, "This is." I'm glad none of my stuff is asking for replacement right now, because, that's expensive. They said that the memory prices are coming down. They've gone from just gouging to just unfair. The memory I bought for my server, I got it for like $60. It was selling for $32,000 last month, and when I looked at somebody else's numbers, I didn't check to make sure they would match for mine, but they were at about $399 early this week. We don't know if that's the new place they're going to sit at, or if they're going to continue to go down, or if this is a catch your breath. So I have no recommendation, just like the person who pointed out to me, as to whether now is a good time to refresh or not. Just because
it's definitely a good time to open up a couple factories in the U.S. There's the money for it.
Exactly, and that's the argument that the big three, Samsung, Micron, and SK Hynix are making, is that the last time this happened to them, about 20 years ago, they made more factories, and then the computer market went down, and then they had to sit on low prices, and so they would rather have high prices than extra capacity, which I get it as a business, but some kind of balance would be nice. Like, hey, how about elevated prices and not impossibilities? We were looking at a video Jeff Geerling pointed out, that small board computers. You had Raspberry Pi 5 going $499 or $299. One of those two. Sorry, that's just the way it's stored in my brain. Either one of those is ridiculous, because the point of the Raspberry Pi is it's a $35 computer, and that's just that was the storage and RAM.
Raspberry Pi ever since, for like the last 6 or 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
Raspberry Pi has been going through grave growing pains with manufacturing, 3D printing, and all sorts of uses that have spiked the demand to where 90% of Raspberry Pis are being scalped.
Yes.
At one point, and instead of like $80 for a Pi 4, I forget the model,
like a 4B or something.
$80 is what you're supposed to pay, and they're going for $300.
Yeah, and
it was very ridiculous.
Yeah, and the part that shocked me is I think that Jeff was talking retail price, like the price that they're listing MSRP was $299. I want to say $299 because that feels better. And they had reduced the RAM on it, and like he's like, for $299 I can get a new or used small desktop computer, which is going to use more power, but unless you needed a Pi with the ARM chip and those GPIO pins, he was saying that at that point, why not get the full fat computer? It's faster, costs the same. And yes, as Star was saying that pretty much since since the initial COVID effects on the market, the Pis have been scalped, and they have been hard to get, and even places that aren't scalping them, they'll like you only get one.
I want to say 2017, pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, I could see that. Yeah, let's say that. That's fairer. But that's when it really got bad. It was right when graphics cards were getting to be hard to get a hold of as well, because of not that people were using Pis for crypto mining, but that's when graphics cards went hard, and so some people who just wanted something to tinker around with, they said let's tinker around with the Pis and the competitors, and but this recent one is because of the RAM. They actually rebuilt the board so it could take 2 memory chips where it normally has 1 memory chip, and these are this odd size memory, so they could have 2 of them to get kind of like what Apple did a while back, where they had that odd size MacBook RAM where it was like 48 gigs instead of 32 or 64, and so Pi did the same thing with their chips, and even with that adjustment, it was still they couldn't keep it down, and so I hope they survive it, because it's a good little learning tool, but they're going to need supply back up, and they're going to need to get their bill of materials down so they can make a profit and keep up. So best of luck to them. Yeah. And so with that reality, the Terrafactory is it makes sense. And if he can do it as fast as he says, awesome. And I was curious before it was announced. I was like, so is ASML on board, or where's he going to get the machines for this? And he says apparently they have been talking with ASML so they can get the machines to make the chips to make the machine that makes the machine. So that's something to watch out for, and we'll see how it goes. So then this one, we've got the Port of LA turns to electric terminal trucks to slash dwell times. As I said, the headline and the picture of the yard jockey truck here are what got me. This is an electric truck that looks just like the gas ones, maybe a little slimmer. I like that giant air conditioner on top. That's cool. I assume it's an air conditioner. I don't know what else it could be. It's not going to be a GPS package. Who knows? I guess it could be his lunch, but I doubt that. APM Terminals has been electrifying its operations at the Port of LA for the last few years, and they've been able to effectively decarbonize and cut their fuel costs substantially. Those efforts have yielded another unexpected benefit too. They've slashed the truck idle times at the port by almost 85%. And this makes sense. You're not having to shuffle around for people who've got or don't have gas. You can, it's got the instant on, instant off. You can keep the AC running because most of the places these are not comfortable. Timothy says, greetings from the sunny Southwest. Good to see you, Timothy. And with short runs at low speeds under heavy loads and in a controlled space, heavy-duty terminal tractors represent almost an ideal use case for electrification. APM Terminals Pure 400 did that math and came to the same conclusion, adding 20 new orange EV yard dogs for their fleet at the Port of Los Angeles. And along with other decarbonation and efficiency investments, that purchase has helped the company reduce truck dwell times from an average of 90 minutes to just 35. That's pretty darn cool. And then, not only are they not idling, but since they're purposely paired for this, that they don't even have to charge as much as they would probably have to refuel it. And they don't have to keep a big old diesel tank and keep it environmentally certified. And now also the urea tank now that they've got the clean diesel. So that alone has got to save them in fees and maintenance for the year. And this isn't part of the story, but in one of the locations where they just opened up one of the Tesla mega chargers, they had a piece on the Tesla semi yard jockeys that they're using there. Not quite this, but I'm assuming it's a place where they maybe have a little longer distances that they go, or they just use regular trucks anyway. And so Tesla semi there, they said, oh yeah, it's just another truck. Yes, it's just another truck, but the fact that it can jump in as just another truck shows us where we're going, and that's phenomenal. And Lee says hello, and the peers found big wins by making whole truck and cargo flow less wait your turn and more keep it moving with the additional green lanes for ZEVs, tighter gate operations, and by pairing electrified equipment and its superior uptime with better rail and yard coordination. Okay, I was wondering how just changing the powertrain would give such a large boost. But if everything has gone electric, then there's less breakdowns. And less, oh, hold on, I got to refuel the crane. Jimmy ran out of diesel in his truck while waiting on you to fix the crane. So now it's my turn. You gotta, this is pretty cool. I have to say I was a little skeptical at the start. How could one move from low 60s percentage reliability to 90 and do it consistently? 90 is actually kind of low. Remarked Joe Polima, managing director of APM Terminals. And I think we all can see from the data that it's happening, he says. Here's a view inside the back of that truck. That's pretty cool. So I still don't know what that thing on top is, because it doesn't look like it actually connects. Interesting. All right. The efficiency has been a driving factor for a number of clean vehicle investments. It includes 36 electric cars and trucks, 3 electric straddle carriers, 9 HD electric forklifts, and telehandlers, with 22 electric terminal tractors, all drawing power from the 51 EV charging stations sprinkled liberally around the sprawling container port. It's a lot easier to move electricity around your campus than it is to get fuel depots set up throughout your campus, and keep them certified and compliant with the regs, and then keep them fueled up too. Belima notes that the ship-to-shore cranes APMT run on grid electricity, and the ships that plug into the in the dock can plug into shore power as well. That makes sense. We were looking at somebody had shore power in another video. I think it was just the airplanes themselves. The airplanes, they were pointing out that the airplanes had shore power, and that the black boxes and all the compute on board an airplane, that when you go to switch to the APU, you've got a little bit, the APU is the small turbine in the rear of the plane, and you've got to get it plugged in quick if you don't want to waste your money on gallons and gallons of jet fuel for that. So this is the same concept. Lee says, morning, happy Easter to you as well, Lee. Good to see you. And then Lee Moon tells her the same. Let's see. The cranes are all plugged in. Not every terminal in the world has cranes that are plugged in. I can see that, and it's kind of disappointing because when you look at it, they don't move. I mean, yeah, they move, along their rails, but like once you've deployed your crane, it's not going anywhere. Come on now. Also, every ship that comes in, I'd say 97% of the ships that come into Pier 400 last year got plugged in, and they got shore power. I don't know why this would have been lower before, because your bunker diesel fuel, unless you're plugging in during peak time, your bunker diesel fuel should still cost more, especially once you add your idle fees and maintenance and all that. I think that would cost more than what you're paying the port for electricity. So you don't see smoke coming out of the ships, and that's pretty unique to Los Angeles and Long Beach. Even some of our cleanest ports out there in Europe are looking at it, but haven't implemented it yet as well. Come on, Europe, get the program. Palima says APMT is now consuming about 7 megawatts of electricity, with plans to increase consumption to over 18 megawatts as it pushes for more electrification in the years ahead. To that end, the company is also investing heavily in workforce development and training for both operators and technicians to help keep the port's operations running smoothly. I saw a study, of a report on a study, I should say. I didn't see the study, that showed that a significant portion of the folks running electric taxis and electric trucks were less likely to call out and report, and they were also likely to report better job satisfaction, and they'd had less turnover. And I imagine that just the smells and the vibration, they become background. But when you just don't have that, and you've got that relaxation and peace in your daily work environment, it adds up. Like there have been places where I might have chose to leave, but they didn't have cube farms, or the people in the cube farm were not noisy. Oh yeah, I'll stick here for a little longer, even if I don't want to. That's anecdotal, I know, but if I'm thinking it, I can't be the only one. Training is giving our mechanics both the confidence and capability to support the port's clean energy future, explains Joe Gregorio Jr., President and Chief Operations Officer of PCMC. We're proud to be part of the effort that values upskilling and union craftsmanship alongside much needed progress to decarbonize supply chains. See, this I like to see, is they are union, but they're not, what do you call it? Not NIMBY, but just not saying, hey, we're union and it has to never change. This is the way they can protect their people, and to make sure there's always something for them to do, versus being so obstinate that we must always have the guy who throws the bananas into the ship, even though they've switched to containers. That now they just shut it down because they don't need people to throw bananas into the ship, and they all arrive in boxes from China instead. So it's good to see that they are willing to keep it making sense. I think that's an air conditioner. I don't know what else it could possibly be up there like that. and if it is, that's the a unique way to handle it. Like if maybe the place that this truck normally operates is more temperate, or they don't care about your air conditioning, and so you just open a window and sweat. That's kind of cool to see that they just stuck it on top there like that. That's by Orange EV, as they stated. Over at the Heavy Equipment Podcast, they had a chance to talk to EV founder Kurt Nugent ahead of last year's ACT Expo for the clean trucking. And on the show, available at this link, Kurt explained that his experience at Ford helped him inform design technology, and that Orange EV was designed to be cost competitive with diesel options, even without subsidies. So this is really cool to see. This is another trucking firm. We talked about Zos, aka formerly Thor EV trucks, and how their Class 6 is now competitive or even cheaper than a diesel. Orange is saying that theirs is the same without subsidies. All right, so the top comment says, always nice to read clean equipment articles here. Living in the northeast corner of Torrance. I'm only 10 miles away from the port the article is talking about. I've lived in the LA area since 2010, and my current home is closer to the port since 2020. Since I'm here daily, it's not easy to see the improvements in air quality because we don't really think about the nasty stuff we're breathing in daily. But being an EV driver and having great concern for the environment, I probably notice it more than average. Let me tell you, just in the past 6 years, I've totally seen an improvement. We still have a very long way to go, but it's happening even if we don't think about it. And then political comment. So one thing I want to point out here, though, is even without politics, even without the look at the environment, if you just look at dollars and the quality of life improvement from the lack of vibration and noise and soot and smell, that alone can drive so much. But then if you also care about the environment, you can assign a value to that and ramp this up even faster. What's up, Brian? Good to see you. You feel free to hop in as well. Mark was through a minute ago for before his Easter celebration. Ellie says hi, Brian. Good to see you. And so this is exciting to see. Yes, it is just a yard jockey truck from Orange EV, but look at what it represents. And same thing with I was just talking about with the Tesla jockey truck. It's a little big for the use case, but all the same benefits. Let's see. Look at a couple quick comments, and then we'll go on to the next thing. I thank everyone for your willingness to keep an open mind and be data-driven when making decisions about going electric in the ports. The opportunity to impact the health of the team and the community. Oh, you know what? I bet you they didn't even look at this. If you look at how many of your folks are going to have a pollution-related health incident or just health costs overall, they're going to see their health plan go down in price, or relatively to those that don't. That's pretty cool too. I didn't even think of that. Is this the same Kurt from the podcast? So yeah, that's another good thing to point out there. From the guy who builds the trucks. Thank you, Kurt. Good to see. The Heavy Truck Podcast for bringing the data to the world so others can move right behind the APMT. I, for one, enjoy. It's always weird, you see the article written about somebody, and there they are, writing back in your comment section. That's cool. I, for one, enjoy knowing that this team made an impact, one that will impact generations. Thank you and salute you. Not to mention, it makes ongoing costs predictable, with electric costs more stable versus fuel costs. Yes, that was another thing as we talked about with Mark. Is yes, your electric cost will go up, but you can kind of predict it, and you can at least see them arguing to raise your prices at the commission meetings versus what we saw with gasoline these last couple of weeks, where whoa, and you don't know what's going to hit you unless you can hear the rumblings of world political events or droughts lowering water table levels for shipping, or any of the other external factors that affect global shipping of liquid fuel. One more reply here. I watch the local electric price fluctuate, usually up every month on our bill. That's one reason I signed a 3-year fixed rate from 100% renewable supplier. And that's another good point, is electricity is such a commodity that you can, in many places, you can actually get a rider to your normal electric company and have stuff happen. Lack of gas fumes was a significant motivator for going EV. I have terrible migraine headaches, and a variety of fumes trigger them. that's a very good point, Lee. Is that that these various emissions? I do notice as we go on our travels throughout the country. I do notice certain exhausts. Some of them you can smell. You're like, oh, I bet you it's this particular old car in front of me, or that's got to be that truck. Or you're driving along, you're like, nothing should be making this smell whatsoever. And then you look around and you're like, oh, it's that car that I didn't see behind that giant truck. That's why it smells like that. What's up, Brian? Good to see you.
Hey, man. Can you hear me all right?
I hear you quite well.
So I'm using my new toy. It is the new Insta Link 2 Pro.
I see. I have, it's not on my desk right now. I have the 360, sorry, no, it's the 360. I have the DJI 3 that does the gimbaling. I like it.
Ladders.
Yeah. Ladders off frame. One can say you do this from your garage.
Good to see you, Lee. Oh.
What's new with you?
So I am not doing a live stream today because, it's Easter. And,
There you go.
just for the fans and whatnot, the supporters, the channel supporters. But we will resume next Sunday with special guest Carl from Tadiddle, who is a channel supporter and a fun guy all around. And so
excellent.
I imagine views are kind of low on account of the bunny outbreak.
The bunny outbreak. Yeah,
I assumed.
Perhaps.
Bunny outbreak.
Yeah. Bunny outbreak.
One came to our house overnight. Very scary stuff.
Yeah.
Left baskets full of what my dogs call poison.
Yes.
So it's a weird world we live in.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Indeed. So what do you think about this orange EVs at the port and the handful of reports about the Tesla semi also doing the same work near one of the mega chargers that just opened up?
I didn't hear the story. What is it?
Oh, so Orange EV was featured here in the Port of LA, turning their terminal trucks to slash dwell times, among other things. And then Kurt Nugent, their CEO over at Orange, pointed out, in addition to all of the stuff the article pointed out, is that this should lead to lower health costs for the company as well, because they're not pumping poison into their employees.
Where was I? We were somewhere. Oh, we went to a car show on Friday. And
this weekend.
me and the boys were like, oh, the fumes. Yes. I forgot about the fumes. I've been to so many car shows in the last few years, but not this kind of car show. The kind of car show that doesn't smell like anything at all.
Yes.
or
at least the food at the food truck.
Yeah. Depending which direction the wind blows. But this was just, and it's old muscle cars. One old, I don't remember, Camaro or Firebird or something. It was just a real beater, ugly muscle car. And it was stock. It didn't have turbos or anything on it. And the license plate was "You Lose." And I thought, do I? Because I've got a rear wheel drive Model 3 that we're in right now. And I'm pretty confident I would take you off the line in this, the third slowest Tesla that was available at the time of purchase.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
That brings up a good point, though. It's like even some of the budget cars available today are like if we go down from Tesla, like to what I call the Camry of EVs, which I have to figure something else out now that Toyota is actually participating. They leave muscle cars of not that long ago in the dust. Like there was the Kia GT6 talking about how much faster they are than a Ferrari, and I'm like, if they're that much faster than a Ferrari, then so am I, because I've got
the 2026 Toyota BZ, formerly the Buzz Forks, has a 0 to 60 for the all-wheel at 4.4 seconds.
Good gravy.
So that is, and we're talking about a Toyota that isn't a Supra.
Right.
So it's...
They go for volume. Wow.
It's a real perspective shift. And it's not like they're trying to make a lightning fast car. It's
Not at
just
all.
that unlike with dyno burners, it's kind of easy. You know, the cost difference between putting in a V6 and a V8 is substantial.
Yeah.
The cost difference between putting in a motor that's this big and one that's this big is not substantial.
Right.
And, you know, there are other reasons you want those big motors. They're better at gathering your regen. That improves your range, your efficiency, while
They last
adding
better.
literally 10 pounds to the car. So, yeah, and it'll last longer. Oh, gosh. It's just like the safety benefits of EVs. You know, if you could design the perfect car for safety, you said, well, I want a big crumple zone. Oh, we got that. The motors are very small and low. I want a low center of gravity. I want very strong side intrusion. I want traction control that is instant, that doesn't rely on applying brakes to regain traction, but reducing power to regain traction. All of the pieces, no, I don't, you know, a 20-gallon tank, you're talking, what would that be? 140 pounds of combustible fluid. Combustion's right in the name, guys. I don't know how to point this out any more clearly.
Yeah.
So,
and then folks might say, well, why does a Toyota need to be 4 seconds fast? It's like, well, it might actually cost them more to make it 9 seconds fast, because if they can use the same motor across the fleet, and then, like you said, with the regen capture is going to get them the fuel economy they want, and you know, having a mass manufactured motor of a certain size is going to have a certain level of reliability, and if it's literally free for them to put it in, it's actually going to cost them more to slow it down, either through software or picking that one motor that can go slower. Why would they bother?
Was it the the P75? Well, the Tesla 75. That wasn't really a 75. That was a software locked 90, right?
There were several of those. Yeah. So the 90D I had was a real 90, and then they made a 75 off of it for software. They had a couple real 75s, a couple real 70s, but most of the time they were doing like an 85 dump down or an 80 dump down or a 90 dump down, and
Which is,
even the 40 was that way.
Yeah, well, the 40, yeah. And if you want, you can always unlock it later. Some people did, some people didn't. I have
that one in Canada that they had to have to match the law, but that's a rare case that you can't unlock it.
That didn't. Well, and I imagine there's still got to be some kind of time restriction on it where eventually you can unlock it.
The one in Canada, no, but really? everyone else around the world that had something like that, yeah, eventually you could, for later money, later do it, even if you had to wait a month.
The president of the Tesla Owners Club of Washington, Teresa, had a software locked, I don't know, 75 or something like that. And she ended up needing a battery replacement under warranty. And of course, they no longer made anything close to it. So they gave her 100. And she's like, are you going to unlock it? And they're like, no. No. She's like, well, I guess I'm charging to 100 then, because I'm nowhere close to 100.
Yes.
So, yeah, she just charges to 100 and gets as much range as she would have otherwise. But guys, come on.
Yeah, I like the ones where the answer is yes. Here, give us $2,000 and we'll unlock it. That's a much better answer than no.
She's the president of the Washington Club. Make an exception. It costs you nothing.
It gains you $2,000 in some cases.
Well, on the plus side, she'll be 10 years out and still at 100% battery health.
Yeah, that's good too. And charges faster now too, because there's more cells to spread it across.
Did I tell you about my miracle battery I invented? Oh, for fuck's sake.
You made a gesture to zoom out?
I made a gesture and it's like, oh, zoom out.
Your miracle battery?
Do I go this way? Oh, let me open up that stupid app and then I'll lock it.
Okay, there you go.
Because this is ridiculous. So the 1, 2, 3, and lock. There we go. So the my miracle battery, Kacey, I didn't tell you. Okay, I'm going to do this and make sure it's locked. There we go. Now it's locked. My miracle battery is amazing. It can charge. There is no curve. It stays at 100 the whole time.
Oh,
You can charge it to 100 with no degradation. And we give a 10-year warranty that it'll still be at 100% capacity. That's my miracle battery.
oh.
It's a 200 kilowatt hour pack, 50 usable. And yeah, it ships now. It's very heavy.
Lifetime warranty.
I mean, let's not get crazy, but you could.
Yeah. Andrew says my Kia EV6 GT line 2022 all-wheel drive independent tests like car driver motor trend usually around 4.5 to 4.8 seconds of 0 to 60. Exactly. We're talking a car that was it was the sportier version of what they were selling, but like it wasn't, they made it fast, but they didn't actually go out of their way to make it even faster. Like
they didn't just reduce reliability.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
And the nice thing on your Kia, Anders, is that you can go out to the track, you can have a lot of fun, you can spank a lot of really cool cars, and then you can pick up your dry cleaning and grab some groceries and just go home.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel weird, it doesn't act weird at the highway speeds, nor does it at the other end of the performance. It just is. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. It just happens to be really fast.
When you want it to be, yeah. Lee's first Model Y 2024 is a standard range rear-wheel drive, but has a larger battery. I unlocked the full capacity shortly after I bought it. It was great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? I saw there were some, I don't know what model it was. It might have been the rear-wheel drive Model Ys that at the end of 23, they said, by the way, if you want to unlock a little more battery, it's got it.
Yeah.
And I just got my Model Y and I was like, ooh, let me check. Nah, I already have the long range. But good, because it's expensive. But I mean, sure, who wouldn't like to unlock a little more range if you have it?
Right.
And by the way,
Yeah.
Lee Moon, real or not, I don't know. You only see him online and then in person in Chattanooga. So is Chattanooga real? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. Let's see here. We've got the Nissan Leaf and Aria sales have collapsed in the U.S. I didn't click on this one yet either. It was another one of those ones I saw the headline and the picture, and it's like, let's find out more. And I'm gonna guess that's the picture. I don't want the picture. I want the. Oh yeah, it's not this link. I'm gonna guess it has to do with just what's going on in the U.S. with politics and stuff, not the car this time around.
I'm going to guess it has to do with the fact that the $30,000 model is simply not available.
Yeah, gone. And then the S,
delayed.
the S Plus, and then the S regular is not coming anymore to the States, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, when these were announced, people still had the $7,500 in their head, and these were going to be $30,000. 22.5. I'm in. Love it.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't love it, but I don't like to drive myself around like a commoner. Commoners. If I need a Leaf, I need to leave room in my budget for a chauffeur.
Yeah.
But a $22,500 Nissan is the best deal out there. A $40,000 car that's 5% better than the one you expected to get, not great.
Yeah, and you got 2 charge ports now, and the Bolt is still a better deal while it's available. Might this change if they bring the cheaper S? Yes. Might it change when the Bolt is out of its time limited deal if they can't get that extended? Yes. But I think the Bolt is eating its lunch, and they were not expecting that, and so that's what we're seeing here in the States, at least in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where did this go?
It's unfortunate. And also Leaf and Aria are kind of being combined.
Yeah. Depending on where you live, whether or not you get the Aria or you get a Leaf. That's so weird to me.
This camera's going to drive me crazy. What do I do? Is there something I can do to make it not be so stupid all the time?
There's probably a setting for it. It's
Here
just
we
like
go.
this thing where you're learning it.
Ooh.
There you go.
Real tight. It'll work.
I'm looking for the sync button because there's items missing from the notebook that I'm not seeing. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I sync it on the PC.
For people who talk with their hands a lot, this camera might not be a good fit.
Hopefully, you should send them a comment. Maybe they can do different gestures or gesture mode.
Because there's, maybe I can lock that in the app too. Very silly.
So I had to sync it on the PC. It was fine on the phone. So that was the Nissan. Not much to say about them at the moment. Yeah, they're having a difficult time with it right now, but I don't imagine they're going to stay that way if gas prices stay elevated. Because once you run out of the preferred EV vendors, then you move on to the next ones. Right?
Who knows, man?
We'll see.
What's fun with this, by the way, is I can put on a whole bunch of makeup. How do I look?
I see. Look a little like Santa Claus with the blush.
Don't need that, thank you.
So we've got a couple of very related posts, and they're similar to what we were talking about with Mark and the solar. Is you've got $7.69 a gallon of gas is $28.48 a year. That's $237 a month in gasoline. Or you can get a new Model 3 for $269 a month. Now, people were picking apart his math. I'm sure that there are some flaws with it, but let's look and see what he has. $7.69 a gallon means $28.48 a year. At 3 years, that's $85.44. So I'm going to say right there, it's not going to stay there for 3 years, but let's say that it will. You could get a Model 3 at $269 a month for $12,684 for 3 years, $3,000 down. So one thing people are pointing out here is, but you got to pay for FSD. Yes, but your gas card doesn't have FSD, so I think it's fair not to include that.
Yes,
that's exactly. That's only a $4,100 difference for an entire car, or $113 a month. Now, at electricity, charging at home, $625 a year, or $1,875 for 3 years. Basically, you're getting a brand new Tesla for the price of gas and a couple $100 a month. If you add FSD, your gas budget now becomes with a chauffeur. And yes, you got to be in that specific spot in between California and Nevada to get this particular price today. But that's not to say that it's not headed there if things don't change. This place is a bellwether. Their crazy high price, whenever it's going up, happens to be the price for next week or next month.
If I tell you that I can get 3 miles to the kilowatt on a Model Y, would that surprise you?
No, because I can do that sometimes with my big bus.
About normal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can do even better if you're being more gentle and not necessarily on highway as much. If I told you I can get 4 miles to the kilowatt on my Model 3, would that surprise you?
Model 3, no.
No. Yeah. And on road trips, I do better than that. I often do better than that. So 3 and 4, I just use those because they're nice and easy. Gas is now over $5 a gallon in my town. So that means that, so $5, okay. My electricity rate is with all the taxes all in under 8 cents, but we're just going to use 8-ish cents. Yeah. We're going to say I get 12 kilowatts to the dollar, so 60 kilowatts for $5. So that's 180 miles in the Model Y, 240 miles in the Model 3 for 1 gallon of gas.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, even if you do, like Mark said, the price will go up on your electricity eventually. Patrick in the same region, his rate just went up closer to what mine is. I think he's at 13 or 14 cents. It's still cheaper for the electric than it is
vastly cheaper.
Gas. Yeah,
and the people furious thinking EVs are driving up the power rates. It's the data centers, my friends.
Exactly, it is.
Maybe stop using the AI, but but they won't. Yep. And none of us alone could be that change that we want to see.
Right.
So just do it with your car instead.
Yeah, and Patrick got a 3-month warning that his price was going up on his electricity. We did not get that for this gas price that we're looking at right now. We got a 1-night warning, right? And we didn't even get a warning. We just like, oh shoot, you know what this means. And then, yes, exactly what we all thought would happen happened. So
I have a question about that.
Yeah, go ahead, Star.
Well, you were talking earlier about electricity as a commodity and it being more stable. And you look at commodities in general, like oil prices, copper prices, silver prices, and we see people speculating the market and making prices shoot up.
Yes.
What would that look like in the electric grid? Is there more stability and independence from market gaming?
It has a little bit more of it, but we saw what happened with the computers. The same thing has been happening with the transformers for the last 4 years. But as you can see, certain people get priority. So if you have a large project that's ready to go, you get blessed. If you are a certified utility for the region, you also get to go to the front of the line if something happens. So we'll see some charging stations go down, but we don't usually see like, oh, PG&E can't get transformers. They might have to wait an extra week, but they can still get them.
It's a great question. I'd never thought of this. I just looked it up, and apparently electricity is a futures commodity that is traded. And as of last year, it's traded on the stock exchange. So that's definitely never going to result in profiteering and bad outcomes. How could it? At the customer level, in each provider, you've got a different, it's a patchwork quilt across the country. My particular utility doesn't even have time of use pricing yet, which is, I think, kind of strange, but it's because we're all hydro. And at night, the power's worth just as much because we're shipping it to California. On my bill every month, there's literally a line item that says discount because we sold some to California. It doesn't say California. But yeah, we get to see the rebate we get from selling power out of state because it's, I guess, our power. I don't know how that works.
Oh, you probably have a community power, don't you?
Yeah, public utility district.
There you go.
So
good to see you. Yeah, not some corporation.
Yeah, and it's 7.8 cents plus the tax, putting it at just under 8%. It's cents per kilowatt hour, 7.8 cents per kilowatt hour, with the tax putting it just under 8 cents.
Yeah.
So it's great.
But then we've got what we talked about earlier, where you can put solar on your house and insulate yourself from that, if not completely unplug, because yes, you can do diesel, fry, oil, whatever, but the one restaurant can barely support one car. So the people saying, "Oh yeah, just make it at home," and get an old Mercedes, or Volvo.
Make it.
Yeah, it's not practical. Yes, you can do that, but unlike that, where you got one restaurant supplying one car, you've got with the EVs, it's literally turnkey. You go by the store, either on your phone for Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, or down to your local Kia dealer, or any number of, get a used one, as long as it's again, I recommend if you get a used EV, make sure it's a liquid cooled battery, not air cooled. And
depending on your region, in the Northwest, our temperatures are so moderate that old Leafs didn't have the horrible range loss you saw in the Southwest or even the Southeast.
In that case, I would say just make sure it's stayed local, and then it's also a good choice.
Just look at the battery health.
Yeah.
And really, there's so few air-cooled ones left.
Yeah, there's like the Leaf and like a VW or two. They're hard to actually find. And so at that point, it's just a matter of making sure it's one from a company that hasn't gone out of business. Or if it has, you have a good EV tech in your region. And there are lots of them. You might not have been aware of them before, just like most people didn't realize how many charging stations there were until they, not necessarily needed one, but until they could use one. Like, oh, wow, these things are everywhere.
We've had a fantastic EV tech in the greater Portland area for years until now, when he's gone to work for Kyle. Alex was our guy, and he's like, well, it's way more fun, way more stable. I'm going to do that. It's like, I get it, but I'm still heartbroken.
Yes, exactly.
I'm allowed to be sad.
Yeah. Our favorite tech for our region, he was the mobile tech for Tesla, and then he got caught up in one of the constant 13% haircuts. And then I'm not saying independent, but he partnered with a local shop and was working there for a good minute. And then, we're happy for him. He's gone off to work for Rivian now. But at the same time, it's like, man, now I've got to get these other folks that I haven't worked with yet to work on my car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not scary. It's just the trepidation versus the known quantity, the person you dealt with for years that knows your car from the factory.
Yep.
So,
well, my mechanic when I lived in Auburn, Washington. I loved them. They were great. They were honest. I brought in my minivan, my old what was it, Chevy Venture.
Yeah.
And because it was having power loss, and I'm like, boy, I can't wait to see what they expect to charge me for this. And he comes out and he goes, "You're not going to fix it. It's a head gasket. It costs more than the car. Don't bother.
Yeah.
Don't bother. I'm sorry." It's like, you could have just charged me thousands and I would have paid it. He's like, "Yeah, but I'm not going to do that." And sadly, by the time I'd left Auburn, they were struggling. They just couldn't get any business. And I thought, the hell's going on?
Dealerships?
Maybe. I did bring my Nissan Quest to them to have the motor mounts fixed because I'd gone to Nissan and the car was still under warranty, but that's not the powertrain. Motor mounts, not part of the powertrain.
No, just hold the powertrain up.
Yeah. And I said, I took it to the Nissan dealer and they said, yeah, it's going to be, like $4,000 to replace the motor mounts. I said,
the motor for that.
Because also you're going to need to have the firmware updated. That's another $200. I said, I'm not paying to update the firmware, and I'm sure as hell not paying $4,000 for motor mounts.
Right.
I'm going to take it to my mechanic and see what he says. And he goes, "Oh, we're going to flash the update for you anyhow," meaning they'd already done it.
Yeah.
And on the motor mounts, if he comes back with a lower price, let us know. I said, "No,
right.
No,
you should give us better price to begin with."
I'm right here. You can just tell me your lower price." He's like, "I can't do that." I'm like, "Great. I won't be back.
Right.
If you don't see me again, you know it was lower, and you and I both know it's going to be lower."
Yeah.
It was lower. It was like 2.
Wow.
It was probably, 1,800, 2,300. It was a lot, but
yeah. And that's probably just the amount of work you had to do. Yeah.
It's a van.
Yeah.
It's a van. It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
And I was before you said the van, I was going to say, and I imagine that this is the same way that folks feel when they're mechanic retires on a gas car. It's like, yep, you said it exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. So then later on in the thread, this guy Amir Pilipovic thought he had a smart reply. It turned out later that he'd actually copied somebody else. Since I can't afford gas, I'll just go out and buy a $100,000 electric car. And you can see if you zoom in a little bit, $100,000 was not the original. Somebody did a little cheesy edit there.
I wonder what it was originally.
Right?
Because the spacing looks sufficient for any of this, 100 and up numbers. So when I see accounts like that, I generally just block them because you are not here to participate in good faith. Yeah. And I don't have time for the nonsense. If I want nonsense, it better be a picture of your dog.
Right.
I
should have done that, but I didn't.
Yeah. Because I did see that post, and the number of cars over 100,000 is dwarfed by the number of cars under 100,000.
Exactly. Yeah. So my reply, not really thinking this person was operating in good faith, but just to put it out there for everybody else to see, and then you can see it didn't do that well because he is obviously getting is not a very good participant in the global space that his files are suppressed. But anyway, I said, in fact, there's more people looking at it now on this video than I got to look at it from replying to him. Buying luxury tier when you already can't afford what you've got isn't a good move. No, that is correct. Get a budget trim. Also, lower maintenance for life, especially if you keep it over 5 years or even more. Like my car is 8 years old. 8. Mm-hmm. It's almost out of warranty. It will be out of warranty when it turns a real 8 years in September. It's like 7 and change right now.
Mm-hmm. And, you're going to have to get the timing belt done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get the timing belt done. I'm going to do that with a software update.
It's crazy the number of things that they can do with software. If you remember when the Model 3 came out, I don't remember which one, but one of the big car mags got one, tested it, and said, Motor Trend, Car and Driver, one of those,
one of them, yeah.
and said, it's a 3-star car. Sorry, because the braking distance is inadequate. And Tesla saw that and said, the braking distance? What? Oh, you know what? let us update the car and you test it again. And the guy said, tell you what, no, if you want to update it and push it out to the fleet and that fixes it, I'll test it again.
That's fair.
And then they said, this is a few years ago, and they said, it's done. Go hit the update button. All the cars are fixed. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. They're like, well, we'll check it. Holy smokes, it stops. You've actually fixed it. 5 stars.
Yeah. Mine was one of the last free performance updates. I got the P100D Ludicrous, so it already is hella fast. And there was like a little performance boost. For the 75Ds, they were doing it for free as well, but you had to go in to get it done because it was something about the way the firmware on that motor went. And then later on, the Model 3 and other Model S's and X's, they had a little performance boost that you could buy in the app for $1,500 to $5,000, depending on what year and which trim and all that, and when they were doing the promotion. But
yeah,
that was awesome for free.
Yeah, on my Model Y, I think I could still buy acceleration boosts.
Mm-hmm.
And I had considered it when it was points and not dollars, but it's dollars. And frankly, the tax consequence of $2,000 is more than I'm willing to pay for acceleration boost because I don't go fast.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just don't use that.
Yeah, and then, the next owner can do that if it's important to them.
Yeah.
So Slopodin says
and you don't get anything on resale for that.
Right. Well, at least not to Tesla.
Well, not to anyone. You think, go online and shop the cars. Do you see one that's worth any more because it has, if anything, people look at it and go, ugh, how hard they drive it.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I like it. I mean, not that they don't value it, but I like the point you're making.
I knew it.
Slabo Dan says, the people still at the pump in 2026 are the same ones who thought that streaming was a phase. And it might be, but it was not a flash in the pan phase. And only because people got greedy. If the music didn't disappear out of your collection and the price didn't just keep rising ridiculously, I imagine that very few people would be going back to MP3s and whatever replace them file format you want to go to. Or the high seas.
Maybe. I'll tell you, when Netflix came out, Netflix was it. It was affordable and it had everything. And now it's 3 times the price and has nothing. It has a couple things. I'm not paying $20 for a couple shows. That's crazy. I have YouTube Premium, which affords a wealth of the world's worst movies ever imagined. Ad-free. But then I went and got Apple for a few months when it was on promo. Watched Severance and then canceled. Right now we're doing 1 year of Stars for like $6 a month. It's got some, at $6 a month, I don't mind that the selection is kind of terrible, but there's still stuff on there we watch. And
you watch 2 movies a month and it's worth it.
Yeah. And the YouTube Premium is also for the music in the car.
Yes.
And the ad-free on the TV.
Ad-free, especially on the TV, yeah.
Yeah. I make something.
What's wild is when Netflix...
Go ahead.
Sorry, what's wild is when Netflix was a DVD to your mailbox service, they had 100,000 titles.
Yes.
Today, they only have 4,000, 5,000 titles. It's ridiculous.
That's substantially lower, yeah. I rolled them out until they shut it down on the DVDs. I wasn't there all the way through because when I became independent household, they had already been streaming for a long time, and then once I discovered it was still there, I was like, yeah, this is for me. Especially as they were removing stuff from the catalog, and then they shut down. And then I switched to a company called DVD Inbox. I'm gonna pop my referral code in here because I like free months, and I'm sure you guys might like free months as well.
My problem isn't that they only have 4,000 titles. It's that 75% of them are in a foreign language. And of the remaining 1,000, there's nothing I want to see. It's a matter of which titles. Because when they were early streaming, they only had thousands of titles, but they were all the good ones. And then those companies realized, well, maybe we should not even put it on streaming, but put it on for rent or purchase online. And that's just, I'm out. I'm out.
So this link here will get you guys, I think, a longer free trial and a lower first paid month or something. Whatever the current promotion is, you'll get it, and then I'll get a discount on my current month. So that's DVD Inbox. So you can their catalog does change, but not because people are taking them from them, but because they're physical items, and either the mailman eats them or they get scratched. And even then, it's only the more obscure titles that are dipping out like that. So I enjoy them.
And for them, they can justify having obscure titles because as long as it gets rented ever, it's producing value to the customer.
Yeah. And it's like I said, ever, even if it doesn't ever get rented, like say that's somebody's metric to, like, if they don't have All Dogs Go to Heaven 3,000 or whatever, I'm just not a good enough catalog for me. Well, they've got it. You're never going to watch it, but there it is.
That's why apartment buildings often have swimming pools. It's not because you're going to use it. It's because you think you will.
You might use it one day, but you're never going to use it.
I had a client who owned a bunch of apartment complexes, and they said, yeah, next year we're going to be filling in all the swimming pools because no one uses them. And I said, that's not what it's about. It's your rent in every unit is more because there's a pool.
Exactly.
And if you lose the pool, your fair market rent valuation falls. And
you lose to competitors, and
they did it anyway, but they made all kinds of terrible decisions.
Sounds like it, yeah. Because unless your insurance rate is going to drop that much to offset the drop in rents and cross shopping, then it's cheaper just to keep the thing open. And the trick that a lot of them will use is the pool's broken. Somebody pooped in it. Sorry, you got to clean it out.
Well, and it's their insurance kept going up on the pool.
Mm-hmm. But their insurance should be smart enough to know that nobody uses it as well.
Yeah, you'd think.
So get a better insurance company as well while you're out there.
Right. Have you tried shopping that first?
Mm-hmm. Same thing I think about the guys who struck us repeatedly in the semi truck. Their insurance company has a advertisement about how they didn't have to pay a cent in a case where 2 people died at a doctor's office. And I was like, who is your customer that you're advertising with?
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Certainly not the guy who got screwed, the family or the doctor.
Because I've seen ads for insurance where it's like, I don't remember, it was one of the big ones, Progressive or Farmers or somebody like that, where after a disaster, they showed them sending in additional adjusters as a rapid response team so we can get you paid the money you deserve as quickly as possible, because that's our commitment to you. And I'm sure that you could make a whole documentary about how it isn't actually their commitment to you, but it looks good.
It looks good. At least try.
Makes a great ad.
Who is the target for this? Or are you so cheap that it doesn't matter? You're telling them that you're going to screw them. And they're like, well, what are you going to do? You need insurance to operate.
I was having a dream once, 20 years ago. I was on some medication that made my dreams very weird. And I was at a baseball game and people were booing. And I turned around and said, who cheers for boo? Because in my dream, I thought that's who they were cheering for.
Oh,
very, very silly.
Yes.
So, don't know if you saw it in an Angels game yesterday.
Yeah.
One player went over the fence to rob a home run 3 times.
Wow.
And his team won the game by 1-0.
Wow.
It would have been a 3-1 loss if he hadn't caught those 3 home runs.
Wow. That's work, but it played off.
He's going to remember that game. He'll be talking about it on his deathbed.
For sure. Wow.
Grandpa, we know.
So Overly Trey found Rothmus had posted the same post without all that extra space at the top and a little more fidelity. So I think if he's not the originator of said meme, he was a lot closer to the source than the guy that I replied to. You can buy a Tesla Model 3 for the same price as a Toyota Camry. Tesla wipes the floor with any version of the Camry and can drive itself. EV skeptics will say nothing or say anything to misinform people. And so this guy comes with receipts. He's got a Model 3 on his phone app. It's like a Model 3 standard, 321 miles range. Is that premium? No, it's a rear-wheel drive. 36,990, 125 miles an hour top speed, because everybody needs to go that fast. 5.8 seconds, 0 to 60. Again, this is the base budget model. No frills. They've slowed it down on purpose. Still does 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. Supercars were doing it in under 7 was good back in the day, right? So
in the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Not the supercars. Supercars in the 80s were already in the low 5s. But, a good like Corvette in the 80s was probably around 5.8.
So keeping up. Then, of course, you can option it up and increase these stats all the way around. Although I think only the rear-wheel drive and the premium are going to have that super high range, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Try premium rear-wheel. Oh, you can't. Premium rear-wheel drive is, I think, 360.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now and just to tell you.
And then he pulls up the Toyota Camry. I'm guessing, hopefully, also the base. It looks like it by the name, the SE 36139. Yeah, so 36139 versus 36,990. So you could spend $800 less in theory, and then you spend more in maintenance, gas, everything for life.
Yeah.
And either customer, if you're not a base customer, you're going to get any option, and then both of these would go up by a little bit.
So 363 is the range on the premium rear-wheel drive, which has a cash price of $42,490.
Not bad. And you get all the stuff that comes with premium, like the rear screen and all the comfort stuff. It has the ventilated seats on the Model 3 still, right?
It does. The only thing you're missing is the subwoofer, the little speaker that goes right in the crossbar above you, and I think that's it. Don't remember now. Yeah, no, it's a lot of car. The premium rear-wheel drive is fantastic.
Yeah. This guy says at least the Camry won't drive itself. I enjoyed driving in rush hour traffic before. Is he being sarcastic? In rush hour traffic before and after work, plus feeling mentally... Oh, no, he started out sarcastic. Feeling mentally exhausted after a long road trip helps me go to sleep, so I don't get me started on my enjoyment of my brake pads and oil changes. So that's the beauty of this, is that if you don't want it to drive itself, you don't have to push the button for it to drive itself. Holmars was doing an example of paper drive to push people into the subscription. Somebody else pointed out they don't like subscriptions at all, which I'm in that camp. But it's the reality until Elon hits the tranche that we're going to have subscription FSD, and then once he hits it, I imagine that regular transfers will be back, and the ability to buy it outright will be back, unless they're cost.
I'm confident that million FSD included purchases, because it would have to include purchases. So I don't think that's why. I don't know what they're thinking, honestly. I know they have a plan, but like our Lord, his plan is not always evident to us.
Yes, not to us. Yeah.
Because Elon moves in mysterious ways.
I have a question too about that.
Go ahead, start.
It's actually kind of more of a discussion, maybe. So we know that the robotaxi is currently only in Austin, and Elon has indicated more than once that he wants Tesla owners to be able to volunteer their own privately owned Teslas into the robotaxi fleet, so that they could just be in any neighborhood and depart from your house and pick somebody up and come back home. And he says that he figures that Tesla owners could earn somewhere around $10,000 a year doing so. And I don't see this as being, for one, I don't see it as a good business strategy beholden to his stockholders. But two, wouldn't that just saturate the market and everybody buys Teslas or buys 6 Teslas because it'll pay for itself in 3 years?
So my take on that is I don't understand why Tesla would want to share something this profitable, and certainly not with older vehicles. maybe if there was some new vehicle that had the robotaxi package, which includes, maybe different seats, but definitely includes all the washers for the cameras, includes the new comms for Starlink so that it can't get stranded the way a terrestrial provided car would. Well, Waymo gets stranded for other reasons, but they definitely get stranded because of a power outage.
Like that one in China the other day. They all just stopped on the road and took a break.
Oh no, I didn't see that. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm with you, Star. I do not understand why they would open the floodgates to millions of cars when they got their own thing they can sell. So I'm not sure. What do you think, Casey?
I'm there's more to this, and I imagine that he's not being straight with us on what we see as far as either the subscriptions or the purchases. And like you said, the profitability lies in them not having this out of house, not just to not license it, but just not to even give it to us to operate our own robotaxis.
Well, I think my own thought on that too is that Elon is kind of head in the clouds, because when robotaxi opens up to all 50 states, there's going to be such a high demand on producing Teslas for the robotaxi that you just won't be able to buy a Tesla anymore.
And he's acting like that.
That ship has sailed.
Exactly.
I think that's how it's going to be.
So if we do get to do our own, it'll be just until he can get the market saturated with his own, and then he'll cut us off.
I mean, maybe. I still think it won't happen because there are people who will still want to buy a car. And even though I'd rather get $20, $30, $80,000 of profit per unit, if it's somebody who's not going to be a customer, that $5,000, $10,000 markup would make sense. I mean, you don't have to make them the most affordable or compelling at that point. They would just be sold as more of a courtesy for people who want them. But I know there's a lot of people who believe that car ownership will go away, and I don't see it. We are gatherers. Not all of us. Some of us are just hunters. I'm not a hunter. How many people do you know that have a car outside that they haven't driven in years that they just won't sell because I might need it? Those are the gatherers.
Yeah.
So you raise a point, but I just see like cloud service. People used to own hard drives and servers, and if the company is not making cars for consumers and apps aren't running on private servers anymore, I mean, the consumer basically has to deal with what's handed to them. And if there's no Tesla to buy, there's no Tesla to buy.
Yeah.
Right. But there would still be other cars to buy.
Yeah.
Do you want them buying other cars, or do you want the $5,000 markup?
Good point. I see the number of people who want one at home reducing, like we saw with the apps. But then if they, not just say Tesla, but if enough of the firms are doing what we see with Netflix and all the other services where you get less and you pay more, it's going to swing back the other way. And then the used cars will have a premium for a minute. And then they'll say, hey, why don't we make new cars that do what the used cars do? And so there will be a leveling, but yeah, I do see the overall car ownership falling substantially, but I don't see it going away. So this is going to be, we're in one of those inflection points. Like I had a coworker whose dad was born in the time of the horse, and he died after the second or third shuttle launch. So he'd seen not quite the full internet, but he'd seen a lot of changes in the world, and like you could not have predicted a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're there again. It won't be as big as there, but as far as the societal changes, like the way we structure how our houses are built, how we operate day to day as people.
I will tell you, from the late 90s for about 10 years, I thought technology has plateaued. There's no big exciting stuff. Every year cars get 1% better or 1% more efficient. Shuttle's been retired, but nothing is going to replace it for a long time. There's just nothing exciting going on in tech. And of course now that has changed.
Oh yes.
We are seeing a brand new space race. We're seeing electrification. We're seeing China, long thought of as the copy-paste country, stepping out well ahead on a number of technological fronts because they made the investments in STEM education and in helping certain industries get off the ground, namely batteries and electrification.
Yeah.
And electricity is the great equalizer because everyone can generate it. Every nation has access to the sky, and every house has access to some extent to the ability to generate solar power.
Yeah.
To some extent.
To some
Just
extent, yeah.
So,
And I'm curious how this is going to play out, though, because you've got like Elon talking about, what's he up to now? What's the qualifier for abundance? Is it amazing or?
Yeah. Super awesome abundance, bro.
Yeah. So I don't see how any of that jibes with the nickel and dime nature that he's put us in. So is he saying that somebody else will do it for us and he's just going to ride this out, or is he going to flip a switch somewhere and all of a sudden we've got UBI?
No
Star Trek land?
earthly idea.
Yeah. But even if it's not him, like if this continues, and it will, we're going to end up in a place where, because right now we're seeing this with the job market. You've got somebody saying, "Well, why should I hire a designer when I can a junior designer when I can get one senior and two people to run the computer, and then the senior can sign off on stuff." And but now when the senior retires, how do you pick the new senior? Because nobody's got the experience to do it.
We had to let the people go who we were paying the most, and so now we have nothing but incompetent people.
And that too. So this is gonna get interesting. And then like we were talking about this meme here is like, you don't have to get the $100,000 EV because there are plenty of, what do we say, 36 or 40 available, and that's if you still want to go for a name brand. You can go cheaper than that or go used. And they make fun of that guy because he's got a 99% self-driving score. He said he loves to drive himself. I'm not an old guy, but man, looking out in the world, it's I don't want to say scary, but I think that's the closest way I can describe what I see looking out over the cliff, like the fog. We've talked before about how the industry pushes people to buy too much car, buy too much everything, and we're in for some exciting times. And I don't mean exciting and fun. It's could be some of that. Ooh. Gives me some of that existential dread.
I only get that when I'm trying to sleep.
Right?
Yeah, I'm going to go to bed early. I'll see you later. What have I done with my life?
4 in the morning. Transition timeline to massive autonomous vehicles under adoption seems long given the number of non-AV vehicles on the roads for now, says Lee. And yeah, look at that. Like I've got my 8-year-old car. We do 90+% FSD, and my neighbor's brand new whatever can barely cruise control without running into the car in front of it.
So apologies. I know it feels like 3:37 p.m. to you, but it's 12:37, and I'm going inside to make my family brunch for non-live birth bunny day. I do not understand that bunnies laid eggs, but we managed to secure some, and we're going to try them. I am deeply disturbed and looking forward to what it produces. I think they're chocolate.
Scrambled chocolate bunny eggs. It's a smoothie.
No, it's over medium. Okay, well, throw this pan in the trash. So good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, Lee, and everyone else in the chat, Anders and all, and Star. Thank you, guys.
That was actually the last item in my notebook.
Great
so
chatting with you,
I'm
Brian.
winding down as well. Tell people where they can find you, Brian.
Who knows? Who knows? I'm on YouTube at Futuraza. I'm on X at Futuraza. And I'm all over the place on April 18th. I'll be at the Tesla Diner in LA for an event hosted by the Los Angeles Owners Club. On
Sweet.
April 26th, I'll be in Portland for the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association Drive Electric Info Fun Bonanza. I don't know what we call it exactly, but it's held at the Daimler Truck headquarters. They're gracious enough to lend us the space.
Nice.
On June 5th and 6th, I'll be in Muskegon for the big summer meetup there. Join us, won't you? And after that, my schedule gets a little less predictable.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think Muskegon would be fun. I have done none of the pre-planning logistics for that, so it would be aspirational for me to say I'd like to go to that. And so we talked with Mark about the Drive Electric Month. He spoke more to the Canada side and Futuraza, and as I talked about OEVA, is also you as well, right? So Brian and Patrick can get you situated up in the Northeast, and you can look online. Northwest. Oof. Don't go to the Northeast looking for them. You can get a chance to try out a EV butts in the seats without some of the same pressures you get trying them in the showrooms. And,
we will have ride-alongs available in the Daimler eCascadia Semi.
Oh, that is phenomenal.
Join us, won't you?
Yeah.
One and all.
Yeah, that's the benefit of being at that site right there at the Daimler truck site. Wow.
Yeah.
And then for our European visitors, do you know more about how the worldwide portion of it works? Is there
for Drive Electric?
monthly?
I don't know if there's events outside the US. Don't know on that. But there is on June 6th the X takeover in Austria. So maybe folks can go to that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's the same weekend as Michigan, so I don't have to choose. I go to Michigan
Right.
because I have no budget to go to Austria. Last time I was able to stay with Jan from Tesla Fix, and he drove us around, including from Germany to Austria, and that made the trip practical and affordable. But he is no longer producing content, and I don't have any ground contact. So, if they want me in the future, they're going to have to either wait for me to get a lot more successful or help me out. So
there you go. A week before last, Lee and I were in his hotel room, and you were on the trail. Did you publish a video on that? Because YouTube really sucks at letting me know what you've done.
Of being of the drive out on the road on. Yeah, that's out. That is out.
Perfect.
I think. Let me actually double check my schedule. It actually might not be, but let me check.
I don't understand why they make us check the bell if they're going to ignore it.
They ran already. Yes. Oh, well,
okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yes. Yeah, that ran.
Perfect.
Yep. And it's a short one, 10-ish minutes. Yeah.
Not bad. All right, go check it out. And like I said, everybody enjoy what you do for this Easter Sunday, whether it's as Easter, as bunnies, as just a Sunday that has a title on it. So I'll catch you on the flip side. We'll see you over at Brian's channel. We'll see you over at Mark's channel. And thank you all for coming through. Thank you again for 50 months of membership there, Anders. And we'll see you guys again next week.